You do those 5 things, and your aim will 100% improve at this game, chat. Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, I took a few seasons off from Apex. And since I've recently returned, I've had to really play catch up. I've spent so much time away from learning techniques, how the game just works, like best this, best that. But the biggest thing is I've taken so much time away from just playing the game and having aim. I've had the benefit, I guess you'd say, of having to relearn how to get better aim on Apex Legends. So I thought it would only make sense to just give you guys 5 tips on how I've been improving my aim over these last few months that I've returned to Apex. Whether you're somebody that's been playing this for a while and haven't taken it serious, if you're somebody just blatantly new to the game, or somebody like me where we took time away from Apex Legends to play other games and we've developed like recoil control and aim tracking on those games, I feel like this video will be helpful for anybody across the board. And then on top of that, because I've been doing both controller and mouse and keyboard, oy vey, ay papi.
Chupapi muñeño.
So I made today's tips and tricks video usable for both controller and mouse and keyboard. Without further ado, 5 tips that I feel you need for better aim on Apex Legends. Moving into tip number 1. Use firing range. Seriously, chat. The amount of people that neglect firing range because you've been playing for a while and you think, it's just like, I don't need to warm up. I'm just going to warm up at pubs. Like, pubs is a good way to warm up. Arena is a good way to warm up. Just diving into the game is a good way to warm up. But to really just get that practice and to understand your aim and recoil and find the guns that you want to use for the day, I think it's so crucial to better aim. One of the biggest things that I changed up since I've returned to Apex is I started using firing range. Okay, bonus tip. That's a bonus tip, chat. If you guys want to develop good aim on Apex, like getting into the game in itself would be awesome, right, chat? Now, in firing range, there's multiple ways, as you guys are aware, that you can warm up your aim. You can bring in live bots through a tutorial on YouTube. You can just shoot at these the dead people, or you can just shoot at the dummy bots, which is what I typically do to get my aim down, to learn recoil control. You know what I'm talking about? I typically just come in here and blast these guys. Okay, I just mess around with these guys. All right. So second tip, I like to warm up and dial in my aim with a technique that I've learned from a couple larger YouTubers and pro players, which is it's like a flick warm up. So the reason why this is beneficial is because not only are you going to be able to loosen up your aim with this, you will also be able to dial in your settings, your sensitivity a little bit more. So what I like to do is I come into these 3 dummies here. I like to point at the middle one, and I like to warm up by hitting my flick. Okay, so you see I got 2 headshots right there. If I was practicing, if I'm trying to warm up my shot, and I'm constantly overcompensating, or if I'm overdoing it every single time, what's that telling me? That's telling me that my sensitivity is probably a little too high. Same thing if I'm constantly hitting under, constantly hitting this one. If I'm testing my flicks, my sensitivity is probably too low. I need to make it higher based on how my reaction time is, right? But this is just, again, tip number 2 is just get in here. It's just a good way to warm up. You just come in here and constantly be practicing, whether you're scoped in and you're practicing your flicks, or if you want to do no scoping, or quick scoping, excuse me. Want to practice quick scoping, you start with the center there and you practice your flicks like that. You get a nice warm up. You start dialing in. Again, you start dialing in your actual sensitivity in itself. And then I just like to go through and practice my quick scopes on some of these guns, my no scopes, just kind of get a feel, weapon swaps, stuff like that. Tip number 3, and this is one that you guys have seen me do a couple times. Okay, a couple people thought I was pretty genius. I thought I think it's pretty cool myself. Okay, to learn recoil control. Now you can also have impacts turned on here, so the way you can actually see the recoil control. But this is something that what's one of the biggest things when it comes down to playing any video game. If you're in the moment, what is one habit that will help you out drastically when you're playing? sound. I know visual is a lot, like being able to see from a distance and watch tracking, but a big thing for me for repetition is sound. And what I mean by that is when you go up to an object here, and again, if you had recoil or if you had impact turned on, I just want to let the R99 shoot. And I'm gonna click, shoot, and let it rip. That clip, that process, the R99 shooting there, it creates like a pattern in my head. This is something that I do. Maybe some other people aren't into it, but this is just something that helps out with my aim. I listen to that pattern, and I follow the recoil based on sound. See what I did there? So I'm like slowly dragging my hand down on that recoil based off how I've seen. And I make that sound in my head. And I find that this is like a super easy way to kind of just naturally control recoil, because like the more that you play throughout the day, again, like you need to point and shoot. But like having that habit of like the recoil control in my head, knowing I need to pull down based on the sound, like hearing the sound and knowing that I have to pull down based on the rhythm that I'm hearing the clip unload. When I'm doing this, when I'm testing the sound, by the way, I'm just letting the gun rip. So that way I can see the recoil. Bounces up, come back down. Like, let's grab let's grab another gun. The Flatline's a really good one to tore him up with, for example. It's got crazy recoil. So I come here, I listen. You see what I'm saying, chat? So I try to create a habit of listening to the clip unload and seeing how the gun, based on its clip unloading, has the recoil on the sound. So that way I can be, it's like a mix. I can be looking and I can be listening. So that is tip number 3 for controlling recoil. Next big tip that I have for people. I got a really big tip for everybody in here. But now, okay, get back to work. Get back to work, Biggie. One big thing that I would suggest to a lot of people, if off the rip you're starting to just like want to control your aim, your recoil, and get better, is I always want everybody to, of course, like mess around with guns. I'm at that point where I'm trying to step back from always using the same stuff so I can improve in tough situations, because sometimes in ranked, somebody lands on you. You don't have options. You need to be able to use whatever you have. For the sake of just like you're playing pubs, you're constantly trying to improve, you're constantly trying to get better, get in the habit of always finding the same weapons. Try to set yourself up. Like if you like the R301, if you like the EVA 8 with a bolt, like try to set yourself up to have those weapons every single time. Start picking up light weapons off the rip. Like start picking up shotgun weapons off the rip. Prepare for yourself to every game like you're just focused on getting a kitted whatever it, like again, if it's R301, if it's EVA 8, like get yourself ready to have a shitted and kitted kit. Maybe it's a daily thing. Maybe it's a weekly thing. Understand, like taking time to dial in one gun at a time and understanding the recoil and not avoiding guns over time by doing that, by spending more time in the immediate on like 2 individual weapons. I think the process over time will make your aim overall better. After you get good at a couple weapons, I highly encourage you guys to break out of those weapons to dial in two more weapons and 2 more weapons. So over time, you just naturally start understanding aim on every single weapon that you pick up. And the final tip, the biggest tip to improve your aim. Guys, it's just a game. Engage in fights. Stop avoiding fights. Like, I know we all want to win. I know we all want challenges and stuff like that. But the faster you realize that pubs are just pubs, you go again, it's just a video game. Even in ranked. The faster you guys realize to understand and have fun, stop sitting back and avoiding fights. Stop being scared to fight other people. You will die. You will have to respawn. You will have to get carried by other people from time to time. The more you push fights, the more you put yourself in these situations and actually just say, heck it, I'm going to full send it. You will find that your aim will improve in those situations. Okay? Pretty simple. So, overall, use firing range. Dial in your aim by doing flicks and warming up. Get the wrist or fingers nice and warm like that. Maybe take the advice of the sound recoil as well as watching the recoil, like developing a habit and the patterns of how the gun's mags unload. Stick with the same 2 guns at a time until you dial in those and then move on to the next 2 guns and stop avoiding fight. You do those 5 things and your aim will 100% improve at this game, chat. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications if this video is helpful in any way, shape, or form today.
Got one shot on 2 barrels. Super weak.
Reloading. Ooh, nailed that whole squad.
I'll get a little scan action going first.
Yeah, scan it up, baby.
Getting an extra pair of eyes.
Get an extra
See
pair of
what these
eyes.
guys are doing.
You got an extra EMP?
Backing out of my drone. I'm good to
Not
go.
yet. It's at 55%.
Down low,
What's
pushing
up
up.
there? She's pushing us.
Yep.
Come on, burn him. My tree.
Yo, 2 blue on me, pushing up the stairs.
Oh, we have to back up.
Oh, boy.
Let's
go.
I've been going busted bad.
I'm getting pushed by this guy. I need you guys in here. Oh my gosh.
Two down.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Corner circle.
Nailed that whole
Don't
squad.
swap,
this
they're gonna
side.
come.
Yeah.
They're coming
Charging
in.
shields. Come on, come on.
Oh, they
Charging up my
rezzed out here.
Yeah,
out
it's fine,
this
it's fine,
door,
it's fine.
and then mobile
Need to
open.
focus with these guys.
Classic style.
Okay, get ready for this
Nice.
other team.
Ow.
Recharging my shields.
Oh, they're stealing.
Scanning the area. Charging up my shields.
They stole all the ammo.
Did they?
Yeah, all the heavy ammo out of that box.
Fuck it, I'll take it.
I have my EMP ready.
Oh, you won't do it. No balls.
Oh, there's a vehicle at dock.
There's Trident.
Yeah.
Yo, this Trident's literally here.
Fire in the hole.
They're cracked.
Yeah, drop the kill. Reloading.
Cover me while I cross.
Reloading. I downed the host. Flag grenade set. Throwing thermite grenade.
Nice.
Fight alone. Die quick.
Wait, is that it?
Nice.
Yep.
Good shit, good shit. Watch out, there's a team over here. I don't have much to bang with right now. Unless we get super close, I got a shotgun.
Oh, he has teammates at this door.
Over there.
Oh, okay.
Coming out the side door.
I'm taking fire.
I've been relatively weak.
Taking a moment to recharge my. Someone destroyed my drone.
Oh, he's a good shot with that bow.
There's a gold bow in the crate over here, by the way. I don't know if you like that shit.
You guys want to go down over here to the tunnel?
They're coming out of the tunnel.
Someone wandered into our safe space.
Yeah, they're so screwed if they're in there.
I just cracked too, but they just...
I'm down.
Wow! One of you guys come and res me? Oh, you guys pushed in.
I've fallen.
I knocked one.
Okay, they're gonna trade this.
I won't always be
res.
around.
Yeah, I'm gonna die to this fuse thing probably.
They're
Charging up
ulting.
my shields.
Reloading. I downed one.
I have gold bag on the res.
We're getting pushed by somebody else.
Yeah.
Fire in the hole.
Got him burning.
Scanning the area.
Cracked one.
Grenade! Go, go, go! Taking damage.
Logged off my drone.
What the hell is this guy still doing up here?
Reloading. All the squad. Watch your back. I won't always be around.
Oh man.
Still another squad in there.
Yeah, yep.
I am tracking.
My drone.
Look out! Grenade!
Shields charging.
Reloading. Must go. Reloading. Reloading.
Throwing grenade. Taking a
Oh my god!
Nice.
Nice.
move. Taking a moment to heal.
Why not fight it? It's just 2 squad subs.
See someone out there.
Like why would they? I don't understand. They just really want to win. Maybe this team will fucking be dumb and just run straight into us up here. Honestly, we could wrap
Oh shit. What's this guy doing here?
Getting shot
I
at.
hit like 40 on him.
Moving close.
It's out there.
What are they at?
Oh shit.
Safe
Nice.
inside.
Over here.
Charging my shield.
Reloading.
Another one.
Pushing. Bottom.
I'm bottom.
Yeah, he's coming up the stairs. Lifeline's like fucking Omega weak. Other guy's behind this box. Yeah, Lifeline's literally one shot. She's got a full heal right now.
Where's she at?
Right side.
With target.
Getting my eyes in the sky.
I'm gonna get him up.
Doing this.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's gotta go back.
But the EVA 8 is trash, right, chat?
They're watching now.
The EVA 8 is trash. The EVA 8 is trash. is What,
66,
what TikTok was saying.
You are the Apex champions.